Welcome to this episode of your Spiritual Business Coach podcast. I am your host, Ashu. I am the coach for light leaders ready to own their fierce self expression and build audiences that trust you with their eyes closed. We do this by integrating feline energy, which helps you birth match made in heaven offers, whisker-licking good marketing. And in this episode, we are going to dive into how you can be fierce yet vulnerable at the same time. I want you to think of a feline, okay? Even the most ferocious ones, they have a cute side to them. A feline is a pure embodiment of the cute, cuddly creature who can be fierce and scary at the same time. Now, people think that they need to show up as a professional to be seen as an authority. Now, my point of making that feline authority stuff in the beginning was to show you how feline energy plays a role in creating an authority and how when you embody the feline energy, which I teach you how to do that inside my coaching containers. If you're interested to work with me, you send me a message on Instagram and we will connect and I'll show you the magic we can create together. But if you do not know about feline energy, let's talk in normal terms of you want to be an authority. What does an authority look like? I want to be recognized as the expert. I want to be seen as the go-to person. I don't want to be treated as like the girl next door or a friend. I want to be treated as like I know my thing and I want to be recognized and respected for it. But they think that to be an authority, you need to be showing up professionally. I want you to tell me, if you were to describe to me what professional means, think about it. What does professional mean? You would give me the answer that will describe a copy-pasted template. Something that is universal, right? A professional person is who dresses up in an X way, talks in this way, their graphics look like this, their posts look like this, their profile looks like this, they have a website and it looks like this, blah, 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 blah. But authority is not something you can build by being a template of someone else, at least not a unique authority. You want to be unique at the same time. Your idea of a authority, your definition of authority is a template. How does that work? Already, if you're not having like aha moments and truth bombs, then re-listen to that section that I just said. You are trying to be an authority by being a template of someone, but you want to be unique at the same time. That's not how it works. Before you even consider being an authority and expert in your niche, you need to trace it back and understand what definitions and meanings you have attached to being an authority and how I don't know what happened to my voice there. And how you are unconsciously replicating those meanings and definitions that you have understood about authority. It's very important if you want to build a healthy authority, if you want to come across as someone who has authority, expertise, and everything in a healthy way, you need to understand what kind of a relationship you hold with that word. It's the same as when you go out to be in a relationship. If you have an unhealthy template, if you have a template of a relationship of this is how a relationship looks like, I will be dominated, I will not speak up, I will be told what to do. It's okay if my partner doesn't prioritize me. It's okay if they don't express love. This is a template you carry because this template is formed when you were younger. So when you were younger, you saw how relationships work and that is what you made it to be. Similarly, when you were younger, you saw what it means to be an authority and you might be unconsciously wanting the same things even when you consciously don't want them because your subconscious does not know any better because you didn't even bring that to your awareness that, oh wait, this is what I think about being an authority. Now, what do I mean? I want you to think of an authority figure in your life growing up. Better yet, think of multiple authority figures. I will give you a typical example of an authority in the Indian context. Authoritative parents. Okay? The ones you respect a lot. You respect your parents a lot. Every Indian person would respect or at least act out of respect for their elders and their parents because they fear them. This authority is being created out of fear. It's not being created out of love. You do love them, but you feel suffocated by this at the same time by that love. Think of a teacher who you knew was an expert in their field, but when they taught you, when there was a class of that teacher, every single cell in your body was extremely alert. It was hyper vigilant of everything that was happening around. It was hyper aware of everything because you feared that authority, you feared being called out, you feared being made fun of, you feared being giving that wrong answer and being made fun of and being scolded. And a lot of us have that template of the authority, and most of them are driven from fear. Now, is that the kind of authority you want to establish? The one who's afraid of everything? Do you want your audience, your followers, your clients to be afraid of you? That no one would want to speak in front of you because they're scared for their life? If you are listening to this podcast, I will assume that you are not wanting that. It's just you didn't know about it all this time because it was unconscious and you never brought it to your awareness. But I hope this podcast is bringing that to your awareness, that there is a possibility you might have a negative association with authority. And that association might be one of fear, one of not even looking someone in the eye, of pedestaling someone. And somehow when you try to say that I want to be an authority, I want to be recognized, I want to be in, let's say, respected and be in the go-to zone of people, of their mind, you might be replicating this. It hurts me to say this. It's so annoying. It doesn't feel good. But then you might counter me by saying something like, Ashu, if I am not that person, then I am weak. If I come across as weak and someone who does not have their stuff together, how will I be in authority? How will I be able to gain the trust of the people that I know my stuff and they will pay me? How does that happen? Because we do not have like a gray view of this, we have a black and white view of this. Either I am the person who everyone fears and everyone thinks they have their life together, or I am the person who is a weakling, who people can walk on, who is a doormat, and there is no in between. But that is not how it works. That's where the concept of feline energy comes in, because the feline is a perfect mix of the both of the things. But first of all, you do not need to prove anyone that you know your stuff. And second of all, I can give you real market research. I have gotten on a lot of discovery calls recently, and people have told me that the coaches who seem to have it all together all the time, they feel very foreign to their aura. The aura is so dominating and scary, it feels very out of reach. Versus when you're able to bring the authority figure down and see them as a human instead of someone who's a celebrity. And then you see that, okay, this was the problem they had, which is very similar to mine. And now they've overcome that problem in a very messy way, but they did it, and it's possible for me as well. They think of you as someone they can go to instead of someone who's untouchable. Now, do you want to be that untouchable person, or do you want to be that person who is, I can go to her, I can reach out for help, and oh, she has a program, I want to sign up for that because I know she is like me. She's not someone who has her life all together all the time. She's not someone who is so embodied that she doesn't know what it is like to have a negative emotion. Now, think of the authority figures we were just talking about. If those authority figures just came to you and with a softer tone, they said, hey, I'm really struggling right now, but I'm trying to get through it, and here is how I'm doing it. Imagine your parents say that. Imagine that strict teacher say that the subject that they are teaching, they had a tough time understanding that subject. And they never had it all together, but they figured out ways to do it. How would that change your perception? In your mind, how would it change their perception of, like, do you feel more nice around them? Do you feel like, oh, you're a human? Because suddenly they come down from this shiny pedestal that you have been putting them on, and you can see them as a human, and you feel so much more connected to them. That is exactly what happens when you also start to show your vulnerable side. You become someone people look up to in a way that, from saying that, yeah, she did it, but she's built different, I don't think I can do it. She is like on a whole another level too. Oh my god, she did it. I can do it too. I feel so inspired. If that is the authority you want to create, Let me show you how you can do that inside my coaching containers. That is the space where I help you not censor yourself, not stifle your expression, but to be loved for who you are. Together, we work to remove that mask of professionalism you have been putting on every time you sit to work on your business, which is harming your spiritual business, by the way. We tear that away. We show you a different side to your business, one that is very spiritually led. Reach out to me on Instagram and let's work together inside my private coaching container, the embodied feline. This is where we create magic. Until the time you get inside my coaching container, the one thing you can do to create a U-shaped space in this industry is to share your struggles. Share how messy it got and how you overcame it, or how you are in the process of overcoming it. And if you want, tag me at Listening Stories Untold when you share them on Instagram so that I can see you own parts of yourself that you haven't before. I am so grateful to you for tuning into your Spiritual Business Coach podcast and listening for this episode all the way till the end, which means you have received a lot of universal codes that were packed into it. So take time to receive them and let them get coded in your soul. If you are feeling a little too generous, I would love for you to drop me a review or rating on whatever platform you're listening this on. And if you feel the nudge to tell me what you felt about the episode or to inquire about how you can work with me, drop me a message on Instagram at Listening Stories Untold, and I will see you in the next episode.